Hey, welcome in, my kickers. How are y'all doing today? Let's take a quick look at South Park Phone Destroyer. Let's check out the new cards for the third week Team Wars. Let's talk about them real quick, guys. Let's see who we might want to think about choosing, why we might want to think about choosing them, and how we might decide to utilize them on the field. So I've already made my votes just about 10 seconds ago. Clicked on my recorder. Let's talk about this for a minute, guys. Up there in that first box, you see Officer Barbrady versus Mimsy. So Mimsy is obviously the more efficient cost with energy there. He's going to go direct at New Kid, and Barbrady's going to kind of hammer his way there. One more energy cost for the Barber. I believe one more energy cost in the Barbrady. Barbrady's going to have a Death Wish explosion and will be a little bit more effective on death than obviously Mimsy will, just, falling down and dying. For our team, I believe we have quite a few more people that have that Barbrady leveled up. And Barbrady Explosion on a new kid level 11 is just a little over 100 points. So keep that in mind. You get him close enough to that new kid. Um, I imagine with some of the other units people might choose down below, you'll see Mind Control there on the right already. You'll see Cyborg Kenny down there below. If people don't run that Mind Control correctly, they throw it on your big giant headhunter, your big tanky Barbrady. Well, the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to get healed up a little bit. They're going to march backwards for a few seconds, and then they're going to come right back to your NK and start beating the crap out of you. So that's just 4 energy dropped and wasted. Really think about those MC cards in this particular challenge, my friends. Going forward to the next box, you see the demon creating snake lady herself versus the bounty hunter Kyle. This one's kind of a no-brainer. Legendaries are great for those teams that are huge where everybody already has a level 3 legendary. They're working for a level 4 legendary. But when you're on a team where, maybe a third, maybe two-thirds of them have that kind of a card, consider legendaries because they might be stronger. But before you can cross over into that legendary field with your team, I really think you have to have a high number of teammates carrying a few level 3 legendaries, to choose from. That's my personal opinion. Y'all check on it and see how you feel about it. So again, the heals, the attack boosts, snakes versus heals and attack boosts. I think the value is in the flying ranged unit giving you those attack boosts and those heals. We're going to pick Bounty Hunter Kyle all day long. Ice Sniper Windy versus Angel Windy. Get those heals with that Angel Windy. If you had the freeze niche running out with the Ice Sniper, if your team has more Ice Sniper leveled up, consider her. She's a pretty good nichey card. She can stop those advancing walls in their tracks and allow those cards to take them down while they're standing still. For us, Angel Windy is going to be the play card most likely. We'll still talk about all these on the team. We could change voting at any time. It's very early, but I'm proud to see tons of these cakers already getting in here and getting their votes done today. Moving into that next box, you see Teehee versus Chip Poison. So, with Cupid being the newer card, I considered more people possibly having that Marine Craig leveled up. I mean, I'm almost to level 6 with Marine Craig, and I've barely ever used him. I've never requested him. He's just a heavily received card in my packs. But, I've been chipping away at this a little bit longer than some of the teammates out there. That Cupid Cartman seems to show up just as frequently for some of my teammates, and they're running nice levels. Again, flying ranged versus standing ranged. I kind of like the flying ranged a little bit more because they're not prone to those folks on the ground walking up and smacking them. Their health is a little bit more protected. Cupid Cartman's squirrely, and just again for the taglines, like pick Cartman just for his taglines, guys. I mean, if any other reason, throw Cartman out there for the fun tags. Going into the next box, guys, Enforcer Jimmy, a solid choice over the Space Warrior token. Space Warrior token, one more cost. He has that charge. He can go hit a unit way across the field. He could direct target new kid. Definitely a lot of advantages behind that Space Warrior token. But with the amount of charge units we might see this week, that aura from Jimmy putting the stop on those charges, costing 2. In my opinion, Enforcer Jimmy is one of the hands down best cards in the game. The cost that he has, the ability he does, the tiny little steps he takes across the screen, how slow he is. He just works out to be a snail of a card that can stop charges all day long. One of my favorites, guys. We choose Enforcer Jimmy for sure. We look at Hyperdrive versus Poison. As we look over the other cards in the deck, that Hyperdrive could definitely benefit if you've swarmed something and the opponent doesn't see it coming. There's cards, singly it can benefit. That Dougie, maybe turn up that Bar Brady or that Mimsy as well. But for me and my taste, guys, Poison, when I look at Poison versus some of these cards we will see at the levels we will see him at, that Poison is actually going to be effective enough to actually knock some of these people down. Some of these range units, a few of these healers, the flyers, those guys are going to fall down. Of course, obviously the assassins, any snakes your opponent might make from Bebe over there, rats, Hanky, that Poison will knock them all down onto the ground. We got to think about Butters up here. More people are likely going to have that level 4 epic Butters, the level 3 epic Butters. And considering the levels that we can make that Astronaut Butters, level 3 and level 4 epic is still going to be more effective on the field to create more damage, sustain more hits, and get the job done a little bit better, in my opinion. Mathematics and such can show you that, guys. So, Cakers, I choose in this one that Choir Boy Butters. We like that bell. We like to smash it. More cowbell, y'all. And again, relaying back to that Poison, here's regeneration. We need to make sure that regeneration is snugged up just a little bit higher than our opponent's Poison is, because if we do that, that's going to be an even transfer of energy where my units continue to stay healed, continue to rise in health. Meanwhile, the opponent has wasted a 3 energy charge throwing out that Poison. I definitely recommend regeneration here over the mind control. Again, looking over this deck, there's just not enough cards to substitute or sustain a mind control in my hand. To hold that mind control and wait for that Dougie, I'm not wasting and holding 4 energy to do that. There's so many other ways we're going to be able to worry about Prophet Dougie coming at our new kid with this deck. Again, my Cakers, we're going to choose that regeneration. Strength in legendaries, but here, come on. Alien Drone, nobody has that thing leveled up. Maybe level 2. We might see a level 3 out there somewhere. It's not very strong. It does not hit very hard. It drops 1 Roomba. That Randy is going to hit quite a bit stronger, stay alive a little longer, and he's going to drop 2 or 3 Roombas. I wouldn't always recommend legendaries or even running a double card, but 6th Element Randy over Alien Drone today, guys, for sure. And again, in this case, legendary strength versus epic strength. Definitely more people rocking and rolling that level 4 minion spitting epic Randy over there than there is running that level 3 rich Dr. Broken. So definitely, my Cakers, consider the strength of your epics versus your legendaries when you're making those decisions. And in my opinion here, overall the value definitely lies in running a double Randy. I might hold on to that 6th Element Randy in my hand. He might be a dead card and rotate. He actually might be an effective, useful card depending on what other cards I see my opponent sending out onto the field. Then you surprise him with a secondary Randy. Hey, hey, hey. And then that last box, my Cakers. Well, I guess we got 2 more boxes, my Cakers. We see that Prophet Dougie. We see again that legendary Mr. Hanky. Getting them circles twisted up is going to be great. You see a lot of players on this thing that could benefit with that. The Ice Sniper Windy, the Angel Windy, of course. both of the Randys, the tokens. You got quite a few cards in there that can benefit from getting them circles charged up. But again, not too many people are going to have that hanky at a sustainable level. More people are going to have that level 3 rare Dougie. Headhunter, again, use that Dougie wisely. Use them, cost effectively. If you can support a hanky push with your legendaries and your bigger decks, put that hanky in there. Keep in mind when he comes on the field, he bounces up into the air. He says, "Heidi ho." So that's like one free hit. So if you're waiting for that assassin to get close, don't wait for it to get too close. You run that Mr. Hanky, my cakers. Choose that Prophet Dougie in this position. Right now, you see my team has got that Cyborg Kenny. Heavily chosen Cyborg Kenny versus the Rats. In my opinion, looking over this deck, Rats will definitely be more cost effective for me and a safer tool to utilize. That mind control in this deck could come back to get you so badly. If you send out a mind control and it accidentally skips its target and it runs into a Bar Brady, again, you're healing that Bar Brady, you're keeping him on the field. If you send out that Kenny, you thinking that you're gonna take control of that sixth element Randy and walk backwards and go get that bar. No, no, no. Sixth element Randy, sexy nun Randy, they all move too slow for that 8 to 10 second timer that you're going to get with that mind control. They all move too slow. They're just going to be healed. They're going to turn right back around and start marching at your new kid. Same thing. You might get that mind control on Witch Doctor Token, use his ability, suck up and kill some of the enemies, but now you've just made Witch Doctor Token strong and healthy again. His mind control is going to wear off. He's going to turn right back around and start marching at the new kid. This is just like a phrase we keep repeating. Mind control does not work in this deck, in my opinion. You want to hold on to mind control to stop a Dougie from hitting your new kid. You need to figure out a better way to stop that Dougie from hitting your new kid, to be honest. If you're going to use that Kenny, I would definitely, honestly, anybody out there listening, my team, any other team, if that Kenny is going to be on the field, you do not want to level him up. You want to keep him low. You want to keep him easily killed. The best scenario for a Kenny is taking over another Kenny. That Kenny is not going to be able to take over a Dougie. He's not going to be able to mind control and stop that from hitting the new kid. Any of the other cards out there that he's going to take control of, guys, too many of them are going to still be alive unless you got a swarm on top of them. That's just the way I look at it. But Kenny on Kenny mind control. Your opponent sends out a stronger Kenny. You send out a weak Cyborg Kenny. The opponent kills your Cyborg Kenny. You take over the opponent's Cyborg Kenny. That gives you multiple options. They go run off, kill another opponent card. Now you're mind controlling extra stuff. They go run around and hit the new kid right away. Now you're taking bars. So there is cost effective action to use that Kenny, but you always want to make sure your Kenny is gonna die first, especially in Kenny on Kenny action. Any of these other cards up here, maybe, just maybe, you could mind control, say, a enemy flyer, and for 2 seconds, just long enough to let it turn around and shoot that, that token, or shoot that Randy in the face or whatnot. That's going to get up in your way. You can do that. But just remember, if you don't kill that Randy or that token with that same mind controlled card or cards that are strapped around it, you're just going to create problems for yourselves. My cakers, let's go down this list very quickly. We gave my opinions. We gave my thoughts. I want to hear your opinions and thoughts, my cakers. Convince me. If there's better cards or different synergy in this deck that I don't see, please show it to me. Let's learn and educate each other together on this South Park journey. Let's go over, my cake family. We're going to pick the Officer Bar Brady, the Bounty Hunter Kyle, Angel Wendy, Cupid Cartman, Enforcer Jimmy, Poison. We're going to take the Choir Boy Butters. We're definitely picking up that Regeneration. We're going to choose 6th element Randy. We're going to run them double Randys in this challenge. We saw double Kinneys before. Let's run double Randys right here, my cakers. We're going to pick that Prophet Dougie. And I'm thinking, again, my hopes and dreams is for rats. But it looks like that Kinney is going to have a solid foundation on my team. My cakers, hope everybody does super great on this Team Wars event. Get in them private discussion areas, get in them game zone areas, talk with your team, communicate back and forth, get those bottle cap destinations set, get those card vote, tallies set, get everybody on as equally close to the same page as you can, run cohesively as a team, make these choices together, sitting under a somewhat of a educated guess umbrella. Like, don't just go in there blind and picking cards that you think are going to be strong or that you think are going to be tough. Like, put some thought behind each and every box you got out there, my cake family, and you will do well with Cake Wars. Organize it, get your team on the same page, get those bottle caps lined up appropriately. You'll get your card levels. You can get out there and you can catch those 3 wins. Cakers, if you're new to the channel, go over there, tap that subscribe button if you want to hear more about Rusty Horror, South Park Phone Destroyer, and bringing towels in the future. Go click that button. If you enjoyed the content here, made you think a little bit about some of the cards in Team Wars, man, hopefully I earned your love and you're going to run over there, tap that little like button, tap that little bell button. Rusty Horror always tell you this, man, don't forget to bring that towel. Let me see you on the flip side, and always keep smoking. Peace, 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 peace.